He tied one end of the long rope around a rock outcropping, and then he drew aside his servant. "Keep an eye on this man," he said quietly. "I do not trust him. Once I'm inside, he might try to cut the rope and leave me there." "Do not worry, sir," his servant responded, and he opened his jacket slightly and showed the handle of a pistol. "I prepared as you told me to do." Emile hooked a lantern to his belt. Then he tossed the free end of his rope into the cave opening. He heard it hit bottom a long moment later. "Is it very far down?" he asked Abd el-Rasul. The man only nodded. With one more brief glance at his servant, Emile entered the hole in the rock. Now here he was, descending down into the earth. Almost at once, the bright desert sunlight disappeared, and he was in the dark. Then at last he felt solid ground beneath him. He felt carefully with his feet before letting go of the rope. When he looked up, he could just see the sunlight filtering in through the hole, which he estimated to be about 35 feet above him. "I'm down," he called. Then he drew his lantern, lit it, and turned to look. He was in a tunnel. He began to walk along it, glancing at the rock walls. He proceeded about 20 paces, and then the tunnel curved. He walked around the turn, and then Emile completely stopped, as if he had been struck. He lifted his light higher. Staring directly at him was a golden face. He widened the lantern light and saw that it was the large case built to hold a mummy. Emile began to look around. Holding his light still higher and widening its range, he found himself in a deep underground chamber. As far as he could see in every direction ahead, there were mummy cases. Some stood against the rocky walls like the first one. Some stood leaning against one another, and some were scattered upon the floor. And the floor itself was covered in treasure. For more titles from Jim Weiss and Well-Trained Mind Press, please visit us at jimweiss.com or welltrainedmind.com. Thank you for listening.